All right, so for day 2, hopefully everybody made it through day 1. Now, yesterday was solving equations, today is solving inequalities. I'm not really worried about graphing so much right now. We're going to graph later, as in tomorrow. But this basically builds off of yesterday, okay? These are very closely related if you remember from Algebra 1. That's kind of how it works. All right, so this problem right here, here's our variable. We're going to add 18 to both sides. All right. Greater than equal to 4x. Okay. Now, we're going to divide by 4. All right. So we get 6 is greater than equal to x. Now, if you remember yesterday, I said that we needed to have the variables on the left-hand side, and this is why. If we were having to graph this thing, a lot of people says, well, my teacher once told me, and I had to correct people. You know, that's only when the variable was like this. Well, not like that necessarily, because that was wrong, but only when the variable is on the left-hand side, okay? So here we have another fraction. We'll multiply like so by 4 thirds. Okay, n is greater than, all right, now with the calculator, or you can say, well, I'm just going to reach and get mine because I moved it. See, 12 times 4 is 48. I do know that. 48 divided by 3, I don't know off the top of my head. Well, that's 16. Okay. Now, this one, it's got parentheses, so we do have to multiply or distribute. It's 3 less than or equal to -2. All right. So we're subtracting. We're doing basically everything that we did that we did last time. It's 5. Okay. So when I divide, now this is one of these that if you were to do a decimal, you're going to get like 1.11111 or negative 1.11113 repeating if you did it on a calculator. That's why I'll double check, proofread what we're doing to make sure that it is not like that if we have a test. All right. So, well, we're not going to do number 2 because number 2 is already done. So we're going to say done. I didn't even catch that, but it's all right. Now, over here, 7.4. 7.4. Yes, there's decimals. Decimals can happen. Remember, if you go to the Publix or somewhere, you're probably going to end up with decimals. Every time I get a whole number when I'm buying something like that, I ask them to check it again. 78.3. Okay. We're going to divide, not by that. We're going to divide by 13.5. Okay. So A is less than or equal to 5.8. Okay, that one's done already. Oh, number 3. Number 3 is all types of fun. All right, you're going to subtract 3/4 from both sides. All right, this is definitely what I'd use the calculator. So 1/2 minus, all right, especially if you have the calculators like the yellow ones that we used to have in class for Algebra 1 or some of the other teachers have had. Those are some of the best ones because they will do it for you in the right format. All right, now here's another one of these examples that the variable's on the right-hand side, and we don't really like that, especially if we're having a graph, but we're not doing that right now. All right, a word problem. I know you're so excited. All right, if we're looking at this, okay, we're going to look at the things we need. We need more than this much food, okay? So we can already write that in our inequality, all right? So if this is 1,200, we want more than that, okay? This over here should be greater than, all right? Now, we already have this much, okay? So I know I have this much right here. How many more cans of food does the food drive need to meet or exceed? Aha! Meet or exceed. That's where we know that this has got to be have a line up underneath it, because this has got to be greater than or equal to. All right, so our last thing that we need is just the x. That's the number of cans. So subtract only 3b. There's a South Park joke in there, but it's probably a South Park episode that was way before your time. All right, so they need to have at least 850 cans. Okay, because that's how much they need to meet 850 or exceed. That's the least amount. Okay. All right. Now, this is where we want stuff on the left-hand side. This, we go through our same steps, combine like terms, all that other stuff. All right. Right here, this is good. This 4x minus 9 is good. It's right there. Over here, I've got a like term here and here. So this is 3 minus a 1. Remember, that's a 1. So this is 2x right here plus 2. All right. So I've combined like terms. I want my variables on one side. This is why we want our variables on the left-hand side. Okay. And remember, even though it seems crazy, there's a reason we have you do stuff. Okay. That's the thing. Oh, I don't know why I tried to run over that. I should have just erased it in the first place. Y'all ever do that? All right. Add 9. So 2x plus an 11. Divide. Excuse me. I don't have the Rona, by the way. I will sneeze and cough. Now, this is our answer, 11 halves. Okay. Now, I know we went right into that without reading directions, because I know that's what you'll do. But remember, it says solve if possible. If the inequality has no solution, it has then all real numbers. We're going to get to that here in a second. All right. So we do have to distribute first. So negative 3w plus 9 is greater than or equal to 9 minus 3w. All right, so when we're moving this row over here, all right, we end up with 9 is greater than or equal to 9. All right. This is a true statement. This is where, a lot of people would say, like, infinitely many, all real numbers. That's numbers, not hashtags, okay? Because 9 is, although it's not greater than 9, it's still equal to it, okay? So you have to know what those are. If you need some help on remembering what those are supposed to say and what they mean, just let me know. I can put some materials up there, give you some links, or we can do the WebEx thing. All right. So, whew, this looks gross. All right. It does because it's just forever. So, we're going to distribute. Apparently, that's the right click that I keep on hitting on my new little pen here. Got it off the Amazon. Okay. This is minus 15. 9K greater than or equal to negative 3. All right. So I've distributed. Now I'm going to combine like terms. Well, our like terms right here are this and this. Okay. So remember how I said that if you need to write them together, you can, but 3K plus 9K is going to be 12K. All right. Minus 15 greater than or equal to negative 3. So I've distributed, combine like terms. All right. Now I've got to get this on the other side. So I'm going to add 15 plus 15. All right. Come on, you. For some odd reason, my little pointer is like disappearing on me. I don't know why. 12K greater than or equal to 12. All right. Now, this is not one of those infinitely many or no solution things. Okay. You're not done. These are things that you have to do all the way through. All right. So if we divide both sides, we're going to end up with K is greater than or equal to 1. All right. So pay attention. Just keep going through your steps. I'll say that 1,000 times until it's beaten to your program that way. All right. More word problems. A family wants to rent a boat to go skiing. Well, again, do we need to know that? Not really. All right, we do need to know this. The boat's rental rate is $200 and $50 for each hour. All right, that's already as we need. So we know we got to pay $200 plus $50 an hour. Okay, remember each or per, that's when you're going to end up doing some multiplication. Okay, it says suppose the family has $450. All right, so we need to write this down. 450. What is the maximum number of hours that they can rent the boat for? All right, this is where we need to figure out our sign. You believe it or not, you've been doing these type of inequalities for a long time. All right, case in point I've used before is like if you go to a football game or something, that was big for us. Well, until I started playing football, or I went to a basketball game. My dad would give me like $10 to go to a concession stand. I couldn't spend more than $10, and don't say, well, you could if you borrow from somebody. But if I only have $10, I only have $10. This family only has $450. All right, they can spend that, so it's going to be equal to. They can't spend more than it, so it's going to end up being, hands wrong way, less than that. All right, so we're going to subtract 200. 50x less than or equal to 250. 250. All right, 5 by 50, 5 by 50. X is less than or equal to 5. So they can, this is a maximum of 5 hours. Okay. So the reason that we have stuff like this is because on the ACT, this has shown up, and then like your answers look nothing like this right here. Okay, it always looks like this. So that's what we want you to pay attention to. All right. Now, compound. All right. So if it's an or, all right, if it's an or, basically these are two separate problems, and we're going to treat them as such. All right. So I'm going to look at this over here. So add 1, 6b is less than -6. We're going to divide by 6. Divide by 6. Now, there is a rule with inequalities that says if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the sign, the inequality sign. Our answer is negative. That doesn't mean that we flip the sign. All right. Some of y'all that I've had before, y'all had issues with that. Don't worry. A lot of people do. It's called being human. Subtracted 1, 4, and then we have b is greater than 2. So our actual answer is b is less than -1 or b is greater than 2. Now, I'm not asking you to graph this, but if you did, because it would end up being a multiple choice thing. I haven't found something that's going to actually have you graph it, but we'll say this is -1. We'll say this is 2. Somewhere in there is 0. Well, we'll say 0 is there. All right. Because these don't have lines up underneath them, remember these are open circles. They're shading that way. Now, I like the shade on top because I know some people, when I've told them, they try to go like this, like on the line. And I know this is blue, but in class, like the printout would be black. They're like, you counted off. Listen, if I have to get a microscope to see your answer, it's not going to work. Okay, I won't work at all. All right. This is an and problem. Okay. Now, I kind of like these a lot better than the ors. And this is why. I can sit here and, because here's my variable. I've got to get rid of the 14, but I've got to add it to everything. So I get 15 less than 4x less than 34. And then I'm going to end up dividing lottie-dottie everybody by 4. All right. So I have 15 over 4. It's less than x. All right. 34 over 4. I know that's going to reduce. And I'm going to do it like y'all because I keep telling you use your calculator. All right. And this actually ends up being 17 over 2. Okay. That's a bad 7. Okay. 17 over 2. All right. So remember, these are compounding inequalities. Again, if you have questions, you need to email me or bring them up. Hey, I have a question over this type thing or this type thing. Don't say I have a question over what we did. Oh, okay. It's like going to the doctor and say I'm sick or I'm hurt. Where? I don't know. Okay. I'm not saying I'm a doctor, but I can't help you if I don't know where the problem is. All right. That would be cool though. Dr. J. All right. This is another and problem. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Okay. Gives me with 8. 4p less than or equal 20. All right. This one, it looks like we're not going to have fractions or anything. See, 8 divided by 4 is 2, which is less than p, which is less than or equal to 5. Okay. Not too awful bad. Could be worse. Could always be worse. All right. Yeah, I got another or another and. Probably because I like them. I like them a lot. To me, these seem easier to me because you're doing everything together. I don't like having to do the or stuff. That's not super fun for me. All right. Good news is when we go divide everything by 3, well, we really only have to divide one thing because 0 divided by anything is just 0. All right. So please make sure that you're paying attention to that. So we have -5 less than m less than or equal to 0. Okay. And we're done. Okay. Now, we didn't have a example where we got no solution, but like I can give you one. Like say for instance, if you ended up with like 3 is greater than 7 as an answer, 3 is not greater than 7. All right, so that's not going to happen. All right, so just pay attention. Again, if you need some help, let me know to follow up, and we'll work some stuff out. All right.